You're listening to Robots Attack. Follow them on Twitter at RobotsAttackMe. Email them at robotsattackshow@gmail.com. Like them on Facebook. And check out the website at robotsattack.me.
Alrighty, welcome back to Robots Attack here on KSU Santa Clara. We are now on the watch party discussing episode 6 of Daredevil season 2.
That's right.
Gents. So, last episode ended with the Yakuza coming in to the place to take out the hackers.
Yeah.
Who turned out to be Elektra and
right.
sort of forced into
the
battle Daredevil.
And that was a cool fight.
Yeah, I liked that they didn't just pick up exactly where they left off. I liked that they had that little, like, following the motorcycles going through the streets and everything.
Okay.
So you're watching the Yakuza kind of coming in, zeroing in on their prey. I thought that was really cool.
They also have a nice nod to Akira, if you will.
Yeah. That and just the range of people that they chose definitely reminded me of Kill Bill at parts too.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily, not anywhere near the number of people
that
Kill Bill threw, but still
didn't have the crazy 88s. So.
Right. Yeah, it was cool seeing like female Yakuza and like blonde ones and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice having a nice representation.
Yeah, this one was an interesting episode because, like, it was also one where they did a lot of talking, which was it was all very interesting.
Boo.
Shush you, because like you can tell they're setting up a whole lot more things to branch off of the events in this episode.
Yeah.
So there's a fair amount of expositional dialogue, but it's all still very interesting, like character-driven exposition. So it's like this is still really cool, I think. I mean, this one definitely sets up more like Matt Murdock as lawyer versus as Daredevil. Like, with the whole thing of the Punisher saying, "Hey, not guilty."
It's true. But he also kind of leaves at the key time too, which then it made me sort of wonder, like, how good of a lawyer is Matt Murdock really?
He is good enough to stand up to the rather peevish DA that they're dealing with in an effective manner.
Okay.
He has yet to show Foggy.
He leaves Foggy to handle the show like maybe 75% of the time. Which, I mean, it makes sense for the show because you can't have him like doing 30 things at once like they do with Wolverine and comic books.
How many teams are you on? I'm on 18 different appearances in 1 month. Yeah, but it was kind of interesting, like seeing letting Matt have his moment as lawyer Matt, like lawyer Murdock.
He essentially was like had a scene where, like you said, Foggy normally did.
That's true.
But, and then we get a little bit more of he's now kind of reluctantly deciding to work with Elektra, like setting their terms.
This show is messing with my head, just because. I talked last time how I felt weird about the episode, just because, and had a hard time even talking about it, just because I wasn't sure I liked where the Elektra character was going. It felt really weird and manipulative and whatnot, and I was starting to like, what's the other girl's name? Karen. I was starting to like her a little bit better. And this episode flipped it on the ear for me. It's like, I really like Elektra a lot. Like, a lot. And it's funny, what sold it on me was right after the fight, that scene in the diner, when she's like sort of playing with him a little bit, and the little crack about like, okay, you set up your terms, here's mine, no sex,
Yeah. Like, wait, what?
Right. It was so good. And then ends with, and the final thing, give me that slice of pie.
Yeah.
As a pie fan, that was valuable to me.
Well, it definitely like it shows that they're the difference in the values they have as individuals. Like,
Well, to me, it shows that she's grown in the last chunk of time. It's just that she didn't necessarily show it very well in the previous episodes.
Okay, because that was going to be my question. Because like, I didn't see much of it for me. I didn't see much of a difference between her character of this episode versus the last one. I mean, they played with each other a little bit more, but her character didn't like that. I knew that already about her from.
Yeah.
I got that from the last episode, so I'm curious why.
It might have. I mean, this is jumping ahead from what we were talking about, but when they finally get what she was searching for, it kind of validated her a lot to me.
Okay.
It made it so she isn't just doing this purely for kicks. This is something that actually matters. And on top of that, it added an extra layer of mystery to the show. A couple extra layers that I liked a lot too is I like, I mean, here a ledger has just plain as day listed all of these horrible things, and then it has stuff in it that's encoded.
Yeah.
What is that stuff going to be?
Yeah, and even they were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good layer. And then when they cut to the guy that they'd kind of just shrugged off as sort of a handler earlier, and it turns out that he's sort of the boss of the entire crew. And he's talking to the scientist guy who had lost the key or whatever.
yeah.
So that guy makes to me like a really important thing too. Is like, well, why do you think we're Yakuza?
Yeah, yeah. I was
And that
curious about
changes
that too,
the
like-
entire episode. It's like, well, we assumed that they were Yakuza on the bikes and everything. But I guess maybe they weren't. So
Yeah, well, they even like lead up to that with the two guards that are kind of like standing with the accountant. Like
right.
you see them like take string and like wrap their pinky finger, like, okay, we know what's coming next, and then
well,
like,
I mean, even they has that thing
Right.
with
He's the
fingers
cigar
in it.
box
Yeah.
With fingers
not
in it.
cigars.
Yeah.
yeah. So the like they definitely set everything up, and then what? No, flip. But
Yeah.
they're not Yakuza.
Yeah.
Well,
in the space of like 5 minutes, like it goes from the scene that they're trying to figure out what's in the book to that, and it's just a nice little turnabout on a lot of different levels that I enjoyed quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just because I enjoyed the episode in general a lot better, and because it featured her more. That might have a lot to do with it also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nice too. Like, Matt got to kind of play up the. Here's a few advantages of being blind. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
you know, I can kind
that
of,
was awesome
hey.
too. It reminded me so much of, in any other thing, it would be the guy in the van that's like looking at all of the footage from the cameras, like trying to coordinate with the person on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really nice to have a set of scenes like that where the guy in the van is standing right there with the person. That was really cool to me. I mean, it's weird, like kind of whittling him down to that sort of thing, since he's obviously an awesome fighter and whatnot. But it's still,
But it put him in a position where he can use his special talents to further what they're doing without necessarily jeopardizing their lives.
yeah. The one thing that I still feel like they kind of need in this series is to show the limits of his ability. I feel like right now they've just kind of given him carte blanche that I can do anything. I feel like there still needs to be something that is a differentiation where he might have to rely on somebody else every once in a while, just because there is an edge that there's a line that he can't pass with his abilities.
Yeah, we haven't really seen the exact range of his ability to sense.
I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just saying, me personally.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Here's something that is a possibility, a reality.
Reality. You can join the San Jose Institute of Contemporary Art Sunday, May 15th for Talking Art, artist panel discussion. For a stimulating conversation with artists featured in the Democart, and the panelists will discuss their work and the issues explored in the exhibition. Independent curator and writer Christian L. Frock will moderate the panel. For more information, please visit sjica.org.
I think we got a tweet from a listener.
We do. We have one of our intrepid listeners says that they agree with Joe that there wasn't quite as much growth on Elektra's side as they didn't see a lot of change there either. Yeah, I feel like her most interesting moment was actually the part where she was actually confused about what to do next. Like when she was like scanning the ledger and then realizing that she didn't know what the next step was or how to proceed. I think that was the one moment where I'm like, oh, she's having a glimmer of being genuinely interesting. Like she was cool before, but like being like a more rounded character, I should say.
See, I guess this is just what's so weird for me because it's like you guys mentioned like, oh, a glimmer of this or a care, like she or like just doing things for kicks. She, like in the last episode, she like they went to the house. She set up this whole thing, going to that guy's house that like killed Matt's dad. Like that. Like that's kind of like that's some care. Like she her ideas, like maybe it's not quite like she's kind of on the edge. She does things, but I wouldn't say that like she doesn't care about stuff. Like she still does. Like I don't know. I guess it's kind of weird hearing.
I understand what you mean, and I agree. It is an interesting. It's kind of the same as the Punisher logic. Her emotions kind of function on the same level, at least at that point of time. And so, yeah, it is an interesting twist on a character in, especially something that has a main character that is completely like full classic Batman.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. I guess it's what's more accurate. Like, who was the first to popularize that? Was it Daredevil or was it Batman that was the first to say, like, no, we're taking that off the table? None of the killing stuff.
I think Batman was the first one that Batman swore off guns first. I don't know if he swore off.
Well, Superman doesn't kill people either.
Okay,
so.
Yeah. Which is one of the things people doesn't like about Man of Steel, but different issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put that one over there for a sec.
Yeah, I guess I'll say this, like I can totally get why people wouldn't find the character of Elektra interesting, or like to me they nailed like her style of character. Like I just see like, okay, that chick with that personality, like here's what she likes. I mean it's but when moments that you guys kind of have mentioned that sort of have turned for you, it's funny because it's like I saw those already like in the previous stuff, so it's interesting that what it took for sort of you guys
to me there's one difference is I do think it's interesting that she showed a certain amount of care, as weird as it was with the scene that you were talking about. But we end up cutting from that scene and fast forwarding to the current time frame, and at that point you don't see anything but her setting up situations that could get Daredevil killed, that she seems completely carefree about it, except for maybe an occasional, like, turns away from the camera, like some little, again, a little glimmer, but still her actions comparatively between the old thing where she was doing something caring for somebody that she liked, again, as weird as it was, compared to what we saw later in that episode. To me, that was two different characters that had changed for somewhere in between for some reason. And so when we finally see what it is that that is her goal, that's what kind of clicked to me. It's like I said, it was for something valid that was important.
Yeah. I'm like, I hope it's not. I'm not trying to like. The way I'm saying it,
No,
like, hope it's not like
I get
you
it.
guys are wrong. Like, I find it very interesting. Like, because to me, like, a lot of the stuff, the way I kind of see her is a lot
it's
of it.
Like
is
I said, the show is messing with my head.
Yeah. Is like a lot of it is a show. Like, to me, that's kind of her, like, not the show, but like
It's a
her,
front.
her
Well, of course it
character.
is.
Yeah, like
It is
like-
Netflix.
yeah. It's a show. Like it's not a complete front, but it's just, I don't know, just maybe just
And
sort
at
of
times
having
not
known
held
people
together
like
very
that,
well too.
Like,
And like I said, little chunks of time where you see her kind of shy away from, like she's being really cheeky about something, and the next thing you know, she like cuts to silence when a second before she would have had like a smart comment to throw back.
Yeah. The part that I find interesting, and this is one of the few times where she is showing a more humane side. Like, she's actually showing something that seems more genuine to who she is, as opposed to who she's trying to portray herself to be. And that's where I feel like the moment where she's actually like kind of at a loss for what's going on is different than her trying to help Matt get something that hurt him so deeply. Like, I understand, like, that is a form of understanding and wanting to bring a form of conclusion to someone, and I get that, but this is like where it's like almost it's her sort of like, to me it was kind of like her having an inkling of what it's like to be Matt as opposed to be herself, like where he's generally been shown as trying to figure out what's going on with everything, and she's sort of she's usually coming from a position of where she's controlling where things are going more in her own mind. She's in control of what's going on, and like now she's at a point where like, well, I'm actually not completely sure what is going on anymore, and that's where like I found like some more of her humanness coming through as opposed to her her character coming through, if that makes sense.
A part of it too is that she obviously had the like olden day situation planned out, but she had it figured out what she would want done, and she expected him to live up to that expectation.
Yeah.
And so now it seems like she's much more ready to change the way that she's doing things in order to allow somebody to kind of walk in their own shoes instead of hers. And that's worth something to me too.
Yeah. To shift it slightly back over to the other kind of what was going on, the stuff with Frank Castle. Like,
number one, I was really happy to see Fargo from Eureka show up. Did you catch that? The public defender.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, as far as the Frank Castle storyline, that was sort of the origin of it in this episode. So, and he was so good at being kind of a halfway slimy guy, sort of like he was in that series too.
Yeah, the delivering the eyewitness account, like
right,
here's your statement.
yeah.
But it's funny too. Like he didn't have any clue that everything had been fudged. So it'll be interesting to see if he shows up as a character later on. In me personally, from whatever small attachment I gained from watching Eureka.
Yeah, I have a feeling probably not. Maybe a little pop in for something, but yeah, there was no. I'm kind of curious if they're gonna make their appearance again. If the people in the suits, they never showed up at any point. And then
there's just so much mystery going on. I'm really. I hope by the end it's all solved.
Yeah, because he's I mean, it's interesting. He's having sort of like memory losses of stuff. Like he remembers certain things, but is kind of starting to lose some stuff. So that's
which probably plays into the whole head wound problem. And also,
I would imagine.
Yeah, which I hadn't even thought about this, but it makes it doubly interesting that when you have him with the head wound and him choosing to take the shot at Daredevil, that like scrambles his brain for a little while too.
Well,
it ends up creating kind of a mirror there, at least momentarily.
Yeah. I'm curious what he like. The whole, not guilty thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, what...
where's that going to go?
I'm curious if there's more beyond just, like, a slight surface thing with the DA of, like, hey, you were doing some bad stuff kind of here, but, like, if there's more to it, like, if he if there's some more things kind of tied, like if he knows.
I think he's hoping that all of the secrets will unravel in the course of a full-on trial. I think that's what he's gambling on. I don't know that it necessarily gains him all that much.
Oh.
I think ultimately he's probably going to have to make some sort of crazy escape, even if even if his plan goes correctly, he's still not going to fare so well as far as the extradition thing and whatnot.
I did like when they were like, oh, the deal, we couldn't get you, as space on the world. But anyway, you're going to get stuck in Gen Pop. It's like, lots of death sentence where it's surrounded by all those criminals. It's like, it sounds like fun. Like,
yeah. Like, trapped in a room full of criminals.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of a nice callback to like Watchmen with when Rorschach was locked in.
Watchmen.
No,
I'm just kidding. The movie.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah. Book was good though.
I love that movie.
It does what it does well.
Is it your favorite Zack Snyder film?
No.
Okay.
Batman v Superman.
Really? Seriously? Or
no?
Okay.
Just curious.
Man, I obviously looking forward to the next episode because things are about to get even crazier, and it's like they're already kind of nuts. Like,
yeah. He swore off kind of using the being the Daredevil, but the show's sort of given him an excuse to still be the Daredevil because he's like, well, I'm doing these things with Elektra. It's not like I'm going out in the streets and that sort of thing. But it'll be curious to see how they balance since he's clearly going to have to start being lawyer Matt a lot more now with this trial.
Think,
so. Like what, 2 weeks until in movie parlance till the trial. It's like, oh wow, that's a lot of work to do in a very short span of time.
Yeah. I have a feeling the producers of the show know where their bread is buttered. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of like swap over to it becoming Law and Order.
No, I don't think it's going to turn into Law and Order, but it will be interesting to see how they do balance these two sides of the Daredevil character.
I'll say one kind of final thing for me because we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
Feel free to say some stuff for you guys, but I was kind of curious too when all three of them were gonna go in and see Frank. Like, is he gonna like say like I was wondering if he was
that
gonna say
opening
like,
line too.
Yeah, was he gonna say like, "Hey, Red," or like
Right.
and then like, did he recognize him? Like like did his voice because he he spoke with Matt and
We never know.
so.
Yeah, but Frank has a code of honor. I don't know if he would necessarily like rat some guy out just because, but hard to say.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
It depends on your definition of ratting somebody out too. Like he could have called him out relatively safely with the group of people that were in there at the time.
That's true.
But there's no telling whether he's bargaining on that secret or if he just doesn't know. But I think as it stands, he probably doesn't know, especially since the blind man thing is a little bit stronger cover than like Clark Kent.
What?
Yeah. It's the shaded glasses versus the regular one.
Best disguise ever.
If Clark Kent would have just had the shaded glasses, that would have been genius.
Maybe
next time around.
Justice League Part
Right.
1 he'll have that.
Yeah, maybe.
He'll come back to life.
I think Clark Kent is maybe done for in that series, but we'll see.
And just quick closing thought before you pull up that PSA. Our intrepid listener thinks that the Frank Castle has some direct history with the DA that's pushing a lot of the stuff, the craziness forward, and
That seems fair.
Yeah.
inclined to agree. There's that will be an interesting extra
Lover spat.
I don't know about that, but
I don't know. The DA is pretty cute. She's kind of hard edged, but
roommate troubles.
yeah, something like that.
You never paid that.
Right. You forgot to buy me coffee that one time.
Yeah, you always didn't.
You never refilled the Keurig.
Yeah. You always kept the toilet seat down. It was annoying, so I'm gonna
Something
get you
like
that,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
So I'll set you up. For this.
yeah, here's something that's not annoying. It's super easy, and you got to do it. If you want to listen to KSU even when you're not near a radio, you can stream us whenever you want at ksu.org or on the TuneIn Radio app or website. Never be without the underground sound. All right. Any final thoughts for episode 6?
No.
Good.
I'm done thinking.
Good plan.
A dangerous
right.
pastime.
All right. Well, let us know your thoughts on episode 6 and get ready for next week when we'll discuss episode 7.
Yes. And you can do that by going to facebook.com/robotsattackshow or twitter.com/robotsattackme.
Just like the listener did.
It's like our listener did. Robots Attack Me, Twitter. And you can also find, if you're more of the email type, robotsattackshow@gmail.com.
That's right. All right. We will take a music break and then come back with the news.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Sounds good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back with more Robots Attack right after this music break.
You're listening to Robots Attack. Follow them on Twitter at RobotsAttackMe. Email them at robotsattackshow@gmail.com. Like them on Facebook. And check out the website at robotsattack.me.